Hi, everybody. Welcome to another CASaturday. Today, we are going to be tackling the one and only Jessie from Team Rocket. She is 50% of that team. We are not counting Meowth. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm so sorry. So, today, we already started with giving her name. I did look up her last name, and it is Moreau in the cartoon. And I gave her pronouns as she, her. I gave her the evil aspiration, I believe it is. And then I made her self-absorbed, mean, and self-assured, which is going to be very confusing if I continue saying that during this video. So to start off with, Jessie is part of Team Rocket. And that being said, that's about as far as that goes in this video. I went off the rails whenever it came to her and James, guys. I'm not going to lie. A lot of CC was used, which I will leave down below if you aren't interested. Again, as I've said with my previous CASaturday videos, a lot of the creators I feel like are very well known whenever it comes to the CC community of The Sims 4. But I do it just in case they are ones that you haven't heard of before, or they're ones that you are just interested in. But I definitely do love all the CC that I have. I am a big CC fangirl, and I take advantage of it whenever it came to Jessie because I prepared by making Jessie and James one time before. So I did not record it because I didn't really know what I was going to go for, if I would even be able to create them, because for Jessie, as you know, she has that big hair. It's kind of like a pinky purplish color, but we don't really have that in The Sims. You have the choice of pink or purple, and that's it. Where James is known for his purple hair, I had to give her the pink. It's just how it worked. But I wanted to find a hair that was as similar as possible to what she had, and I couldn't do it. As you saw from that first hair that I tried on her, it just didn't work. That one I did specifically download because I'm like, oh, it's the closest. It's super long. It comes to like a point at the very end, kind of like Jessie's is in the show. But whenever I put it on her, I didn't like how it looked on the head. It just looked very flat. It didn't have too much dimension. So that got nixed like right away. And I found this hair. I know it's not identical to her, but I just really liked how it looked on her. Obviously, she has the bright blue eyes in the cartoon. I gave her the very thin eyebrows because it was the 90s and the 2000s, and that was a thing. And then the bright red lipstick. And I do also end up giving her her green earrings as well. So that is basically what I did for her facial features. The rest, I'm not going to lie, guys, it went off the rails. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that during this video, but it got really, really, really bad. Because I just decided, you know what, we're going to have fun. We're going to stick to a color wheel like we did for all the other ones. So I basically stuck with white, red, and black, I believe, whenever I gave them their like favorite colors. And I stuck with that hard. And what I mean by that is she basically wears all white all the time. There's red here and there, but because we are so limited in what we can choose to try to make them look like themselves, you know, from the cartoon, I just kind of went crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I went fairly heavy on the CC, but that's okay because that's what I wanted to do. So that's where we're at. But because of me going off said rails, I realized that I needed to create a little more of a backstory for them because they just didn't fit in with the original Pokemon idea. So bear with me. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and you might not agree with where I went with this backstory, but I'm happy with where it ended. It's kind of silly. It's kind of goofy. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But whenever it comes to The Sims 4, the creativity has to be there in order to make it work. So the backstory that I came up with for Jessie and James, granted we're only doing Jessie today, but it's going to be a theme as we go into James as well. I'm so sorry. So they wear the gloves, and she is basically wearing gloves through every outfit that I give her. Minus, I think, her sleepwear. Yes, I even give her one for her swimwear. It makes no sense. I understand. it's quirky. Okay, we're just going with it. But the rest of her backstory, as you can see with the boots that I just gave her, they are stilettos. If you ever watched the Pokemon series, there's a lot of traveling. If you've watched any of my previous CASaturday episodes where I created the Pokemon trainers, Ash, Misty, and Brock, I'm like, they're very practical whenever it comes to what they pack. They are thinking like, oh, we're going to be on a journey, we're going to be walking a lot, we need to be comfortable, we need to be smart. I did not go that route for Jessie and James. I ended up making them very bougie. So Jessie's like, I always have my hair done. I always have lashes on. I always have my lipstick on. I always need to be put together. So because of that backstory, I decided to create that they are very wealthy people. They feel like they deserve the world and they don't have to do much for it, which is kind of similar to how the cartoon is. They don't feel like they have to do a lot. They just want the Pokemon. They just want to take them, but they don't want to have to actually like battle a lot of people to get said Pokemon. So I feel like in their head, they're like, you know what? My parents are wealthy. I deserve this. I don't understand why you're just not giving me said Pokemon. Just give them to me. I deserve them. So that's kind of the backstory I went with. They are obviously not very practical, not very smart. They're mean, obviously, but they look good while they're doing it. I'm not gonna lie. They're wearing stilettos. They're wearing Louboutins. They, have their makeup done and like nothing is out of place at any point in time. So that's what I went with. Let me know down below if you love that backstory or you think that's really stupid, because how are they supposed to, follow Ash, Misty, and Brock when they're wearing stilettos? I don't know, guys. This is the creative mind that was working that day, and that's what I went with. But it was a lot of fun, and that's what I'm going with. I had a lot of fun creating them. I had a lot of fun creating their backstory. And I just feel like the other ones, Ash, Misty, and Brock, they are on my channel. Go check them out. They were just so smart about with what they packed, minus Brock and his robe. We're not going to go there. Don't judge him. But yeah, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I feel like from the cartoons, from what I remember, they were so self-absorbed in themselves. Like they thought they were just the cat's meow. Sorry, Meowth. But they thought they were the best and that they deserved the world. So I guess I thought of that one small little teeny aspect and I went with it. But I'm happy with the outcome. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I got to use a ton of CC. As you can see, I love using the lashes, the lipstick. I just liked making a very pretty, fancy dressed sim compared to them always wearing like jeans and overalls and boots and things like that, and baseball caps. So yeah, it was a good time. But like I said, all the CC and everything I will leave linked below if you are interested in it. I get most of my CC from the Sims resource and Tumblr. And I have played The Sims on a PC and I've played it on a laptop, and I've downloaded CC on both, and I've never had any issues. So as long as you're like on your toes, like if something pops up and you're like, that's suspicious, I think you'll be okay whenever it comes to downloading any type of CC. So with me going through all that and just like chatting away to you, I'm so sorry that took forever to get through. We are officially on party wear. Now, as you probably noticed, as I've been talking your ear off, most of her outfits are just the plain white. She always has the gloves on, she always has her makeup on, and she always has her boots on because she's a material girl. You know what I mean? So I kind of kept with that just white all throughout with little pops of red here and there. In the end, I do believe I go through and I put some different little bits of like red jewelry on her, just to kind of signify that big red R on the front of their shirts, because we just don't have that in The Sims. So that was just kind of my thought process. I didn't try to look for too many photos. I kind of gave up after Misty whenever it came to looking for photos online of what everybody wore, just because there's not a lot. Like, they don't have a formal outfit that they wear. They don't show their night clothes very often. Some of them did show bathing suits, but I didn't find too many of them. So I just decided to go with what I wanted, go with the color wheel that I created for them, and that's just what I stuck with. And then obviously for her, like I said, I'm going to make them like germaphobes, like, ew, ick, I'm not touching that with my hands. Like, I just got a manicure, so they're constantly wearing gloves. So that's just on pretty much throughout all of them except for their sleepwear, I believe. And then on to hot weather wear. I wanted to make it similar to their everyday wear. I didn't want it to look too different because I feel like most of my CAS ones so far, they are very similar. But with her, I know it makes no sense, but she's wearing those long gloves, buddy. I don't care if she's sweating. Who are we joking? If they have the backstory that I created, they are in AC all the time and they're barely walking. They probably have somebody chauffeuring them to follow Ash, Misty, and Brock. Like, that's definitely what they're doing. So she definitely has the long gloves on. She has a white tank top because it is hot. And then just a nice, cute little white skirt. And as per usual, I do give her her boots as well because she is wearing those boots everywhere because they were made for walking. They might not be very comfortable. And like I said, they definitely get chauffeured everywhere. But she's wearing them and she's killing it. And she knows she's killing it. That's the whole thing. But anyways, I need to stop talking about how bougie she is, but guys, you can't deny. I mean, I know Jessie is supposed to be evil. She's supposed to be the bad guy. She's part of Team Rocket, but she just looks so good, doesn't she? I'm just so proud of my creation whenever it came to Jessie. It might not be identical to the cartoon, but I'm very proud of it. And finally, we are on her cold weather wear. Now, she's going to be cold. She's going to be very cold, y'all. I'm not going to lie. She is not being practical at all whenever it comes to her outfits. She is wearing the boots. I thought for a split second that I was going to change her boots, but I'm like, no, she would definitely wear these high boots. She would still rock it. And she's very daring because I'm not going to lie, these vibes, they definitely give me the college girl going out to the club vibes. Or going to like a frat party vibes whenever you're like, oh, I'll be able to walk there in this. I won't be cold. And then you're like walking in a blizzard and freezing your butt off. Not that I would know about that, but I did give her some leggings. So she's a little bit warm. And here's where I'm just going through and just double checking everything, making sure that I like the outfits that I chose. And this top for her party wear, I just decided to go with something a little more preppy with the collar. I feel like that's a big trend right now. And then I do believe I go in and give her a bracelet as well. It's the one that goes up on the shoulder. I just thought it was a nice little touch of red to add to it. Like I said, to signify that rocket power. Rocket power? Team Rocket. Wow, I went to a completely different cartoon there for a minute. I am so sorry. But yeah, I just thought it was a nice little addition to her outfit. A little pop of color compared to the white and black, as she has pink hair. And then I just changed these shoes to white because I don't like how much red she's wearing. So you guys, here is her everyday outfit, her formal wear, her active wear, her sleepwear, party wear, her swimwear, her hot weather, and her cold weather. Thank you guys so much for watching as usual. Definitely stay tuned. We have one more Pokemon trainer to do, and that is James next weekend, and I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching. Bye, guys.